Okay, Arkansas fans, with Malachi Singleton just committing to Arkansas just a few hours ago, or days, depending when you're watching this video, we're going to take a few minutes and talk about Singleton and what some of the scouting analysts have said about Singleton, then give our 2 cents or our opinion over Singleton as well, and kind of what he brings to the table. So we're going to talk about him just a little bit, and then we're going to break down a clip or two from his huddle film. I really don't like doing that much high school breakdowns, at least how we do the college breakdowns, just because it's so different. But there is some good stuff to take away still, but still take it with a grain of salt. It is high school film, but still there's some really good things to like about Singleton. And the thing that jumps off the screen, to me at least, is he's not just an RPO quarterback. He's not just a quarterback in a quarterback-friendly, easy system, if you will. Now, yes, he's experienced in RPO, and you see him run the RPO a lot when you watch his film, but he has a lot of just straight drop-back passing, traditional passing schemes, if you will, that complement the RPO. Kind of like KJ Jefferson. I think it's Singleton's ability to throw downfield that makes him such a successful runner. Now, at the high school level, he would be good even if he couldn't throw very well, just because he's so athletic. But what makes KJ so good is the fact that he can push the ball downfield, and he was a lot better thrower than defenses were expecting him to be. And then that led the RPO and his running ability to be that much better. And I think that's what you could see Singleton do as well when he comes to Arkansas. He's going to be a much, I don't know, well, he's a very good passer already. I think he's pretty polished for where he's at right now. So I think you put him into a system like an RPO system, and that's going to make the RPO even better because he has the ability to push it downfield without even the RPO assisting. Now, once the RPO does assist that system, that makes him that much better. So let's talk about Singleton. I don't want to compare him too much to Jefferson because there are similarities, but they're different as well. But I think, obviously Jefferson runs that system beautifully. I think Singleton can run it just as good potentially down the road, right? But there are some differences, right? So I'm not going to call him KJ 2.0 like I'm seeing some things some people write about because he's his own quarterback. But I do think there are some similarities. But real quick, let's talk about some Singleton. So according to 247 Sports, he's projected to be a Power 5 starter, and his comparison is Taj Boyd, the former Clemson quarterback years ago, and was drafted, I think, the 7th round by the Jets or so. He was a late pick, maybe had a cup of coffee in the NFL. But anyways, I think he's probably a much more better dynamic athlete than Taj Boyd. But good comparison nonetheless. And so let's go on to look at the scouting report, what 247 Sports talks about. Quote, a true dual threat quarterback that has a knack for making big plays. Looks almost like a linebacker with his thicker build, but is equipped with a strong, rather accurate arm, has plenty of experience running RPOs, and is the type of quarterback that's a threat to score on almost any time he calls his own number, as he's difficult to bring down both in the box and out in the open field. Pocket awareness, a strength at this stage in his development, as his internal clock will bail him out of trouble more times than not. Shows some touch in his deep shots, understands how to step into his throws to generate velocity, and then started a few games in varsity as a freshman before winning 10 games as a sophomore, then leading his team to the playoffs and one of Georgia's highest classifications. So real quick, 2019 he was a true freshman. Of course, in high school you're a true freshman. 2019 he was a freshman, started 2 games at the, I believe towards the end of the year, I think, after splitting time throughout the year. Then 2020 was a sophomore, passed for over 1,600 yards, 15 touchdowns, ran for over 1,000 yards and 17 more touchdowns. In 2021 as a junior, again, I think he helped them go 10-2 again. And they earned it, or his high school earned its first ever back-to-back regional title in school history, and he had over 2,300 yards passing, 24 TDs, just 3 interceptions, which is fantastic. Also had over 1,000 yards rushing and 25 scores on the ground. So put up big numbers in a very, very competitive high school. And what you notice with Malachi Singleton, he's a different runner than with KJ. Singleton's 6'1", 220, where KJ's about 6'3", 245 or so, right? Now, KJ's a very good runner, but they do it differently. KJ is going to get upfield, not going to make too many cuts, and he's going to put his head down and gain some yards. Singleton, you're going to see, is probably a bit more explosive in the run game, gets his acceleration is probably quicker, right? He gets the top speed quicker. Got a real big lower half. He reminds me of a running back when he runs, which is special. But then when he throws, you can't tell that he has that kind of running back build because he's such a good thrower. 247 Sports has him as a 4-star right now. They have him ranked as 91. 247 Sports Composite, which takes in other recruiting websites has him as a very high 3-star, but this guy is legit. I think Arkansas fans should be super excited for Malachi Singleton. I think he does a good job in the pocket. You see mature throws, right? It's not just off RPO schemes. Now, they do run the RPO, and he is able to be successful in that scheme, but I think he could fit multiple offensive schemes, if I'm being honest, right? Now, some people may look at him and say, oh, he's just a good athlete who can chunk the ball, so he has to go to the RPO, but I think he can fit a lot of different systems, which is what you want as a quarterback. And the fact that he can run, now you can put him in the RPO system, RPO scheme, and pair that up with how Arkansas does things, fast tempo. They get the tight end involved. They get some easy throws for the quarterback, so they scheme open some easy throws. But you can also see Singleton's able to throw his guys open, which at the high school level is pretty rare besides these kind of upper end guys. So if I'm an Arkansas fan, I'm very excited for Singleton. Again, 4-star guy according to 247, high 3 according to the composite. But I don't look at all the recruiting stuff. I would imagine he's going to get bumped up. He shouldn't be, because his film's pretty impressive against pretty tough competition. So again, just the kind of quick takeaways from Singleton. Huge lower half, just like the recruiting analyst said. He's built like a linebacker / running back. The way he moves, he gets the acceleration real quick. He's one cut and go. So with his size, he can kind of run similar to how KJ runs, puts his head down, but he can also kind of bust to the outside. He's probably got a bit more speed, so he's able to be a threat on the outside as well. So again, similarities to KJ, but different as well, right? You can have some differences and still run the offensive scheme and offensive system very similar, even with some differences. So Singleton, good, strong runner, but also I think he's a polished passer. I think he's able to do some good things at the quarterback position, and you can see he's comfortable in the pocket, which is a big deal as well. So I talked a little bit too much now than I planned on, but I do want to break down one clip real quick that I think shows his development as a passer and his ability to throw within the pocket, and just his maturity as a passer. I want to break this one quick kind of film real quick, if you will, one quick play. I want to kind of dive into a bit more detail, and then we will kind of wrap this thing up of Singleton. So just bear with me for just a few more seconds. Let's dive into this one clip just real quick. All right, so here's the throw. I want to kind of just take a few more seconds to kind of break down, if you will. So we got Singleton here. We're going to see him hit this seam route. I think it's actually the inside slot guy. Runs a seam route. We got thirds, and Singleton's able to sit his receiver down on a seam route, which is just a really good throw, especially at this level here. He doesn't lead him into the safety. He's able to throw behind him, let the receiver adjust. So let's go ahead and watch it real quick. Okay, so it's the outside slot. I apologize. Boom, that's a really good throw. Let's watch it again. So it's this receiver here. Ball comes out, right? So we're able to see he's able to sit his guy down. We have a fake screen here. It's really just a one-man route besides the guy on top of the screen. So we've got thirds. You have to sit him down. If you throw it deep, that safety's probably getting there. If you lead him, that safety's getting there, or depleting that receiver right there. So kind of just your only option. Just a really mature throw, good feel in his throw. Able to sit him down, throw it behind him. The receiver does the rest. I think he goes on to score. Yeah, so again, really good throw from Singleton. It's like the feel of that throw, and just kind of shows his, it's not planned, I'm sorry. It just, I think, shows his maturity for already just being going to the senior year. It shows his maturity as a thrower. So I just wanted to show that, because I do think he's a polished thrower, and he's going to fit in very well at Arkansas. So let's go ahead and, yeah, actually this is the only clip that we're going to break down of Singleton. So Razorback fans, I think it's a really big pickup. I think you should be really excited. I think Singleton's a talented quarterback. He's going to fit that system perfectly. But again, like we mentioned in the beginning of the video, I think he's a versatile quarterback. He's a polished passer where I think he could fit in multiple systems. But this just happens to be the RPO system that Arkansas runs right now. But again, the fact that he can play in multiple systems, I think, is only a plus for Razorback fans. So let me know what you think about Singleton. I know we covered it briefly and we did a little deep dive on him, but I just want to give some background on him, just kind of give our 2 cents of what we think about him. Talented quarterback, gets the top speed really quickly, right? He's got his acceleration is like that. This is to say at least one cut guy, but he can make you miss in the open field. Also puts his head down. Very polished passer, in my opinion, especially running kind of that system in high school. So anyways, want to hear from you. Let me know your thoughts. Let us know in the comments below. As always, we'll see you next time on the next quarterback or football content video.